We are on our way right now to Kawartha Downs. We have Cindy doing the wheeling with the driving, and Shane's a guy here. He's got the big head. You can't really see him. That's Shane. We're all going to Kawartha Downs. We get 2 trucks going to Kawartha Downs, 5 horses. My first test for my wrist in a parimutuel event since the accident on April 25th is today. Felt great at the qualifiers today. We had a little video for you for the qualifiers. I'm gonna have to post that late. You know what happened the other day? I do all the videos, so when I go home, I upload them. Now, a sane human being would use the Wi-Fi in their home that they pay for to do such a thing, but I forgot and left my Wi-Fi turned off. 11 gigabytes of whatever it's called gone, and burned right through 11 gigabytes. So for those of you, I can imagine, you know how much I go through. You can only imagine how much data I go through a month. My plan is for 40 gigabytes a month, and I'm right up against it right now. No, I got a little room, but it's the 20th of the month. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. We're on our way to Kawartha. We just finished schooling. It's a beautiful day. How hot is it? 26, 20, 25, 26? 25 degrees, just beautiful night. I haven't been to Kawartha Downs, I bet you, in 4 years. We used to race a lot down here, James and I, and when Kawartha Downs first got the slots, I was living in Pickering, so I did as much racing as I could at Kawartha Downs, and Belleville, which is now defunct, Quinty Raceway is where I first got my catch drives, was at Quinty Raceway. So, we're going to get a top 10 list to you today. Top 10 horse of the week. Now, this is going to fall. There's not a lot of, look at this phone. Just gets annoying. Take that phone. It's crooked. I'm going to have to sit crooked so it's straight. There's not a lot of Ohio birds on here. Now, that's a little unfair, as Shane pointed out. Spend That Money's not on here. She's racing in Ohio on Wednesday. Globetrotting's racing tomorrow night. Havana Unana, we're on our way to race. Emerald Miss, we're on our way to race. Didn't have them on the list. Not a big deal. You guys know they could be on the list. All of those horses are tremendous and have been tremendous. That's why they're in to go. These are horses that qualified over the last 2 days. One notable horse. Now, I'll let the cat out of the bag. Number 1 has to be Libero Hanover. He raced last Saturday, the first 2-year-old of 2019 for us to race, and he won the race. He has to stay right at number 1. He's in to go Thursday in Philadelphia also. He's going to have 2 starts in 2019 before most horses have 1. John Boutenchain has him now. Corey Callahan is driving him Thursday, I think, afternoon at Harris, Philadelphia, where I expect he'll do good. This colt, he's really come on the last month and looked like a professional the other day. I suspect he'll do well again. So we'll start with our number 10 list. Coming in at number 10, first-time starter for us, first-time training is... Yeah, she spent that money's in Northfield. You didn't know that? First time we actually went a fast mile with this horse. We've only had him 10 days. You probably didn't even know we had him. His name's the Amazing Sando. You might say to yourself, that's a stupid name. But, kind of a joke. My uncle is Sandy, and when he played baseball, anyway, it was a nickname that my uncles gave him, and this horse, as you can imagine, came all the way from PEI. My uncle, Saki, owns this horse. Hubert, Saki McDonald owns half. With Jamie Smith, very good friend of mine. I've known Jamie Smith my entire life. We worked together. He worked for me in 2007. He lives in PEI now with Angie, and they have some beautiful kids. They sent the Amazing Sando up to us. He qualified today. Little heads up, he went 59 last quarter, 27 flat. James said this horse looks like, feels like, and he thinks he is legit. That was James's name. That was James's description of him. We're going to see next week. We'll come back with a qualifier, hopefully around 156 next week. The Amazing Sando looks like a nice horse. Comes in maybe a little partisan politics here in regard to him making it onto the list, but he did qualify well today. He did look good today, and I was very happy with him today. Number 10, the Amazing Sando. Number 9, Enduring Strength. He could have been further up the list. This colt looked good today. Last quarter, 28 apiece, I think. Last half, 59, but looked good doing it. Not very often you see those Angus Halls when they get. Remember, we had to cut this horse in the spring because he was getting too hot. Usually, when they've upped their game to that black belt in Angus Hall, where you can't hold them, you can't steer them, and they're runaways, it's hard to push their daddy back down. It's hard to get rid of that Angus for it to dissipate. And we were lucky that I think we caught this horse at the right time. We caught him, and we caught him at the right time, because Enduring Strength was manageable, looked like a professional today, and was very, very strong. Really, really good looking line today and mile from Enduring Strength. Number 8, Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. There's going to be a couple of horses jump on this list. We don't talk about that much. And Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. 27 flat on the end of it today. Last half, 56 and a piece, 56 and 1. Pretty hard not to say that Don't Believe Me, Just Watch was one surprising. We knew he was good, but not this good. Mile 57, very impressive today. Don't Believe Me, Just Watch looked awesome. Number 7, Capistrano. I went with our girl yesterday. 58 and 3 last quarter, 27 and 3. She was locked up, weaving down the lane. Finished up strong. Remember, this is the first time. Sure, they've had some miles and some quarters. This is the first time they really had to kind of race. And we moved them yesterday. Capistrano looked awesome. Easily number 7. Number 6, Trafalgar. She could have been rated higher, this filly. That was an impressive mile yesterday. Finished off her work, and I said to Louis, I gave Louis Philippois, I said, listen, you're going to drive her. Where do you want to race her? He said, I think the Gold. I said, you sure? Because you only get paid 5% of what she makes. And he said, no, the Gold. He said, she win the race, she looked good. And as I said to Louis, winners finish off their miles. She could have been a decent second. If she'd have finished second, she might have still made the list. We might have been talking about her. But she didn't finish second. She finished first. She finished off the leader and drove away. Very impressive mile yesterday from our girl, Trafalgar. Her sister's been racing good outside of a rough trip. Not a rough trip, but kind of not a great trip in the mud the other night. This is a sister to Buckingham. Buckingham's going back to the condition claimers, where she will dominate, I believe, for a while. And this is her sister, bigger, stronger sister, Trafalgar. Number 5, Spirit of Dio. Now, you guys might say, she only went 2-1 and she got beat. Watch the race. Watch the qualifier. I sat on the outside the entire way, blew by them coming out of the turn. Last thing I want to do is put her on the run down by the wire. So I just let her idle. And she just got picked off the wire. Her last 3 quarters, she was at the quarter at 33 and 1 and went a mile in 2:01. I'll do the quick math for you. I already did it before. I'll do it again. Last 3 quarters on the outside of the track at Mohawk, 127 and 4. She's no joke, this filly. She's going right to New Jersey. I'm going to race her next week, Andrew and I, and we'll see how she looks in the New Jersey Sires. If I can keep her trotting and drive her actually like a racehorse, it's going to be tough for people to trot away from this filly. Now, we're going to the New Jersey where the sky's the limit. Best of the best in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So it might be the deep end of the pool for her, but I don't think anybody's going to make her look silly. Only herself and me. I think she's got more than enough speed to trot with most anything I've seen around so far in North America. Spirit of Dio looked good yesterday. Last 3 quarters, 127 and 4 on the Parkway the whole way. Number 4, Need Your Opinion. What about our girl? We made fun of her all winter, kind of. You know, she's a little tiny little thing. She's not bred that well. She doesn't do anything extraordinary. She looks pretty extraordinary right now. There was almost a fist fight in the paddock yesterday over the drive of this filly. I enlisted Jody down to drive her, and James says, no. I went with her plenty this winter, and he said, Jody, I'm going with the horse, not you. So that's how good Don't Believe Me, Just Watch is. We had 2 of the best drivers in Canada arguing over who was going to drive her. And James drove Need Your Opinion. He said, she jumped over Shadow in the first turn. She sees a lot of stuff. We'll talk about another horse that sees a lot of stuff in a little while. But Need Your Opinion looked rather impressive yesterday. Earplugs secured in her ears, bow in her neck, 58 last quarter and 28. Need Your Opinion's a legit little filly. It looked awesome. Number 3, where are you hiding? Number 3, Sebastian Ray. Half in 104, cleared to the front. So virtually at that point, he's loose on the lead by himself. Just the last half in 57 and 2 last quarter and 28 and 2. Drawing off 6-length winner. Sebastian Ray has been good all year. We've talked about him. He's been on and off the list. But he looked rather impressive today. Number 2 is a horse I went with, Bend Over. When's the last time Bend Over made the list? When's the last time Bend Over cracked the top 8, top 5? How about the top 2? Bendover drove right into number 2 today. This was a horse, when I went on the track, this was my job for today. Go fast enough to make the Ohio Sire Stakes limits. 2-5-1 wasn't fast enough. 2-3 probably would have done it. I needed to go in 2-3. How about First Over? First Over with an impressive, aggressive, powerful move in the last turn at Mohawk. Last half, 57-4. Winner in 2:02 and won last quarter in 29. 2:02 flat. Last quarter in 29 and a bit. Bendover has never looked as good. I rarely get to go with him. He went from, geez, it'd be nice if he was a nice little Buckeye horse, to this guy's going to be starting in the Ohio Sire Stakes in 10 days' time. That was some kind of impressive mile. There is no two ways about it. Bendover was all in today, and he looked awesome. Never put a step in. Now, a young trotter that really has been okay throughout the winter. This colt looked a lot better than okay today. Never hesitated, and when he had them by the throat in the last turn, he stepped right on it and kept going. And that's what you want to see in a racehorse. Bendover looked awesome. And as before, we talked about the number 1, who has to be the number 1, is Libero Hanover. First starter of 2019 for us. First winner of 2019 for us. He's coming back Thursday in Philadelphia. We got a lot to talk about still today. We got a lot going on this week. We got a lot that went on this week. As you can imagine, the busiest time of the year outside of sale season is right now. It all starts this week. That's your top 10 list.